Hello, my name is Funtime Phantom Foxy, and welcome to Riddle School 4. This just out of here. Options, fun facts, credits, disclaimer, instructions, disclaimer. Start game. And accessing, analyzing map system. Analyzation progress complete. Middle school 4 comments. Fizz. So, here we are, middle school 4. Greg. Diz, remember the poster? Don't bend the rules. What's going on out there? That's what I want to know. So this is Mr. Munch. And I was into the deepest pit of the underworld. Phil's teacher, Mr. Munch, was the original architect of Riddle University. The school was built above a long pit of lava that he dug near an active underwater volcano. His plan to run a fatal egg tree to forever rid of him in this world succeeded. And no one cared. Every other student from Riddle University eventually died from car wrecks, old age, and unforeseen disasters. Jesus. Each one on their deathbed whispered, "Please don't let there be any more Riddle School games." Director. Stay tuned for the credits to see your time. Okay, that's not very valid at all. Okay, so this is supposed to be what this is. This is supposed to be very short. So this will be a very short video. Probably the shortest one I'll ever record. But it doesn't seem right without having, let's go forward instead of me just jumping to 5. Character design exclusive through. A lot of people. How do you beta test that? When it's literally just that. I'm lucky to get 5 minutes out of this. Just as every book has a start and a finish, a series must have a beginning and an end. Deliberately sucked all the room for another sequel out of their series so that it too may end. John Bro. To end. You beat the game in 15 seconds. You also unlocked real fun facts, special features, now available in my menu. Special features. What happened to the characters? What happened to all the characters? Phil. Fred. Fred didn't really like school, but he thought it was wise to school anyway, and make the best of the grades while he wasn't not doing very much. He grew up and took many effortless occupations, such as music conductor, substitute teacher, and abstract artist. One day, he fell asleep face first in the vat of paint. You can guess what happened. Gender male, favorite things to do. Do nothing, least favorite thing to do. Nothing, doing something. Smiley, gender female, favorite thing, education, least favorite thing, distractions. You would never know that Smiley's a girl until this. Smiley had legitimately good life. She grew up with a perfect hundreds in every one of her classes and got long lesson cream, medical sciences. She got married to the perfect man who just happened to have a smiley face for a head just like her. They spent the rest of their days together, living happily in a treehouse in a beautiful forest. Zach was so determined not to be cold anymore, he bought a plane ticket to the tropics midway into his first year of college, right above a volcanic island. The plane ran into a bad bit of turbulence. Zack ended up crashing through a window and fell into the erupting volcano and froze to death. Gender, male, favorite things to do. Anything not cold, least favorite thing. Freezing and dice. My least favorite thing is education, and least favorite thing is distractions. Richie dropped out of high school, wishing he hadn't paid so much attention to collecting stuff. He was mugged in a dark alley and woke up trapped in a smelly dumpster. Nobody ever found him. Gender, male, favorite thing collecting, least favorite thing getting stuck. 5 sold t-shirts online for a living, and his talent was eventually realized by a big graphic design company. He made the mistake by asking for a slightly large sum of money, and the company ripped him off and sued him. 5 was put in jail for the next 5 years, and not once for the rest of his life. He did not have enough money to sue them back. That's sad. That's really sad. It's funny how he was 5 years in jail because his name's 5. Gender, male, favorite things to do, designing shirts, least favorite things, being unjustly sued. 808. 5's dad, he insisted on being the janitor at Riddle Elementary School because he loved to clean so much until his son was unfairly sued by a big t-shirt design company. He realized he would need a better paying job and ended up being a garbage boy in France. He was having so much fun that he forgot his son existed. Oh, that's so sad. Gender, male, favorite thing, disgusting. Least favorite things, idiots. Janitor in middle school 2. The janitor was locked in his own closet in Riddle Middle School. One day, not long before the school closed down and he was replaced with a new one, he ate his mop and drank his dairy mop water and nibbled on his hat as he was stuck in the darkness of the closet. Last sound he ever heard was the sound of a wrecking ball smashing into the walls. Gender, male, favorite thing, criticizing, least favorite thing, cheesy pencils. Janitor in middle school 3. The janitor in middle school 3, he claimed he could not hear a pipe problem from a mile away, and that was in fact true. His uncanny ability to hear toilet clogs earned him a television show reputation as the perfect-eared plumber. The show was canceled after 2 years because he realized nobody had ears. Furious, janitor leapt off a bridge. Jesus! Gender, male, favorite thing, closing toilets. Least favorite thing, whatever clogs them. Mr. Calm was never a smart person. After the first middle school game, he learned about how small a percentage of drinkable water on the planet there was. He decided then never to drink again. The end. Favorite thing, math. Least favorite thing, being forgetful. Miss Coffee was never a very smart person. She told Mr. Calm that nearly all of the world's drinking water was drinkable. But then she realized she only drank coffee, so I wasn't really sure how much straight up water was drinkable. So she went to the beach because there's a lot of water in the ocean, and she drank as much as she possibly could at the end. Gender, female, favorite thing, coffee, least favorite thing, being corrected. That's horrible. Why is everyone killing themselves? Mrs. Green once drank 99 cups of coffee. On the 100th cup, she died of caffeine overdose. Gender, female, favorite thing, coffee, least favorite thing, cleaning after cows. Teacher in middle school 1. This teacher once screamed at a student so loudly that the walls of the room she was in collapsed around her. Nobody knew what to put on her tombstone because nobody knew her name. Favorite thing, yelling, least favorite thing, people. Mr. Obo. Mr. Obo was getting ready to sit down one night at a school play about knights and horses. He was told before the show to hold a sword, which was the props. It wasn't a real sword, but ironically, he still died from it because the sword was made out of allergy medicine. Mr. B.O. was horribly allergic to that. Favorite thing, English, least favorite thing, his own name. Greg Sleep was asleep for 18 of his first 20 years of his life. One day he woke up, he realized how much he had aged, and after panicking, he decided to move on. He got a driver's license, was on his way to the grocery store, and he had a fatal wreck, sleeping at the wheel. Gender, male, favorite thing, sleep, least favorite thing, nightmares. Mrs. Sleep. When she got married and she had a son named Greg, eventually she died of sleepwalking off a cliff. Jeez. Favorite thing, sleep, least favorite thing, being awake. Mr. Sum was a math teacher for his entire life. He was gardening on a roof of a building and was suddenly mugged by a bear who ate him 30 minutes later. Gender, male. Favorite thing, gardening. Least favorite thing, getting robbed. Mr. Soggy. Mr. Soggy was simply couldn't find his glasses. So he was on his way to get new glasses and got in a fatal car wreck because he couldn't see. I wonder if Mr. Soggy, favorite thing, being able to see, least favorite thing, not being able to see. I wonder if Mr. Soggy got in a car wreck with Greg Sleep. Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed was reading a comic book in the middle school library. He was reading the words, "Sticks and stones may break my bones but never hurt me," when he got a nasty paper cut and lost every inch of blood in his body. Least favorite thing. A lot of people. Favorite thing, being able to read. Mrs. Flask. Mrs. Flask invented a flying chair and discovered there's no air in space. Gender, female. Favorite thing, inventing. Least favorite thing, false alarms. Miss Count. Monkey hater Miss Count was bored at home and decided to look for games on the internet. She found a game called Riddle School 3, which she proceeded to beat twice in a row. Not long after, she was put in an insane asylum, whispering wildly something about a monkey doll curse. Favorite thing, anything about monkeys. Least favorite thing, monkeys. Oh, anything but monkeys. Mrs. Oddverb. Mrs. Oddverb was tired of people taking one look at her and thinking she was a guy. I thought she was a guy too. She also went berserk and set on fire a shoe store. She also stole a small boat and sailed away from all civilization, never to be seen again. So she's dead. Favorite thing, making others smile. Least favorite thing, being called a guy. Yeah, that would be very sucky. Mrs. Moose's was at a bank, and a bank robbery suddenly took place. The robber told her to get on the ground. She said the ground was awfully dirty and she would not be good for her new dress. She was shot multiple times and her dress was ruined. Favorite thing, sarcasm. Least favorite thing, people who don't listen. Mr. Cheswin. Mr. Cheswin, former principal of Riddle Elementary, was put in prison for life because he physically beat a student's head in. Favorite thing, getting into fights. Least favorite thing, losing fights. Mr. Mister, counselor of the Riddle Middle School, was robbed of all possessions unexpectedly 7 weeks after the event. Mr. didn't notice he didn't have a house. He died of starvation right after that because he also apparently didn't know he had no food. Favorite thing, looking important. Least favorite thing, broccoli ice cream. If anyone makes that, they're just a horrible person. Just don't make that. Mr. Potato discovered the magic video game right before Riddle School 3. He had nothing but video games, but playing video games. Long after Riddle School 3, he died happily right after beating a game called Riddle School 3, 6 feet under. 6 feet under, he's still holding his favorite video game controller. Favorite thing, video games. Least favorite thing, real life. That's sad. Joe didn't make it to college. His grades were terrible. He thought to himself, I wonder what gasoline tastes like. He will stated that he wanted to be cremated after his death. One of his friends did not know this. It was full of gasoline, and that doesn't make too well with fire. Favorite thing himself, least favorite thing, not having toilet paper. Diz, supposedly a foreign exchange student, Diz popped into Riddle Anniversary, and a single time after that, he was completely disappeared from existence. Male favorite thing. Yeah, because he's like an alien. And when I record Riddle School 5, you'll figure out what Diz is. Chub Munch. Chub stopped eating right after Riddle School 4, and the rest of his life, simply because he got so big his cheeks covered up too much his mouth for him to eat anything else. He lived an entire century after he stopped eating because of his metabolism. It's rumored the Earth's most devastating earthquakes were because Chub's struggling to move. Favorite thing, eating. Least favorite thing, not being able to move. Mrs. Munch. Mrs. Munch loved to serve food, but she felt like she served her son, Chub, too much. and she didn't know what to do. She discussed her initial struggle with her husband, Mr. Munch, and he said she should just give all of Chip's food to him. She soon realized he had a terrible husband and divorced him, fearing your son more than ever. Ooh, that's sad. That's really, really sad. Favorite thing, serving food. Least favorite thing, having an obese son. Well, don't feed him so much and you won't have an obese son. Mr. Munch. Mr. Munch was devastated by his wife's decisions of divorce and started devising a plan to take the life of everyone of her friends and acquaintances. He realized he didn't have much about his former wife, and he thought he did. The only one person he could remember talking to was a kid named Phil Eggtree. He killed Phil and later died by overreading. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna go with it. It's overeating. It's overeating. Favorite thing, murdering people. Least favorite thing, people. Phil Eggtree. Phil is the only one to college because he figured he had better than elementary, middle, and high school. He went to the newly built Riddle University because it was local, it was cheap, and he didn't have any particular plans for the rest of his life, so it wouldn't matter what classes he took. At first he thought this Riddle school was just like the other three he had escaped from. Just when he considered just trying to make his fourth escape, he found it was completely different. Gender, male. Least favorite thing, logical thinking. Oh, favorite thing, logical thinking. Least favorite thing, falling into lava pits. So that is everybody from the Riddle School series. Or at least everybody that summed up that had a life, basically. Making of. Plan to kill Phil. Dig hole, build a college on top of it, of course being a teacher there, and arrange my sitting chart for Phil to be on. Riddle. Okay. Kill Phil, now what? Killed Phil. Audio commentary for the game's in English. Seriously, commentary.
Hey, I'm John Bro, and this is the commentary for the Riddle School 4 ending, because I wanted to balloon the file size and make it look like the same size as Riddle School 3 or something similar. I wanted to make a commentary just because it seemed like it would be a funny idea to have for the game, because most of the game is a movie. And I figured I would have to make a commentary better than the one for Pain on the Brain 3, because that one sucked. I already had it in my mind that Phil should die in Riddle School 4, because I got so sick of requests for a fourth Riddle School game. And I started one before called Riddle University, but it wasn't going to be very good. I only had planned the first room, which is the one that's seen in Riddle School 4. And I think it was just ripping off of the idea of another game where you had to make a fishing pole out of basic objects like a pencil and a string. I don't remember exactly. So my friend Yoshi came over. He was the other voice in the Pain on the Brain 3 commentary, and I said, I'm gonna make Riddle 4 tonight. Alright. So I started with that room, and I started animating Phil falling to his death in a lava pit. There were several ways he could have died, but we figured that was the funniest and easiest to make. And one of my computers is a flash computer, and one of them is an internet computer. So I have to use the flash drive between the two. So I went to Yoshi Egg, who was on the internet computer playing RuneScape, and said, hey, can I use the computer for a second? I need to find some sad music for when Phil dies. It was funny. He said I could never imitate exactly how I sounded when I said that, but I tried, so... in one night, this game was born, mostly this movie, and you laugh our heads off watching the ending. Well, that's really about it. I think more to say. The real reason I made this game was because I wanted to see the reaction on Newgrounds. When I was starting to make the first game out of the series, I wasn't picturing at all that I would ever make something like this. I was just trying to make a ripoff of Pico's School by Tom Folk. And now it's a 4-parter where he dies. This is the best game ever. This is my favorite of the whole series, and it always will be. I'm gonna try to scream like Phil again. No, that's not quite it. Oh well.
Beat the game to you a second. We've also unlocked real fun facts, special features. I believe this is still part of the... Oh no, it's not. Special features. Okay, we've done all that. What are real fun facts? I'm trying to make... That's actually really funny. Anyway, this was Riddle School 4. This is actually longer than I expected it to be, because I didn't expect special features. But I'm not complaining. So, I got 20 minutes out of this, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. I got 21 minutes out of this. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. And I will probably upload Riddle School 5 either tomorrow or the next day. Depends on if I feel like taking a break tomorrow. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. I know this is mostly just me reading off what happened to the characters and a little bit of gameplay, but sometimes that just happens. It's better than being 5 minutes. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed.